Minerals Council of South Africa marked its progress on a number of fronts in the past year, including health and safety, although it noted that there's always room for improvement.
Let's take an area like safety, where our safety initiatives, working in partnership with government, organised labour, and I'm looking at David here in particular, we were able to make it the safest year in the recorded history of South Africa's mining sector, which is quite an achievement, but still sad from the fact that 49 people didn't get home to be with their families.
Baxter also noted that fall of ground mining fatalities declined by 73% in 2022, attributing that to an industry-wide push to implement leading practices that seek to curb the same. Improvement in terms of gender diversity over the years was also noted.
The drive for diversity and inclusion has continued very strongly in the sector through the implementation of our Women in Mining strategy. There are now 72,500 women in the industry compared to 50,000 just a couple of years ago, so we have made some progress.
The mining industry has been at the forefront of investing in alternative energy sources, as Eskom's power failures have played havoc with industrial productivity.
We've also got over 7.5 gigawatts of projects. There's 9 gigawatts of private sector projects, of which 7.5 gigs are in the mining sector. And the Minerals Council, again, working with government, has helped unlock that investment potential. But there's still constraints in place. Minister, they're not in the DMRE. They are in the transmission network and a few other places, and we're working hard to resolve those.
While the sector has been working to fill the energy gap, the frustration around Transnet Freight Rail's inability to do its job was clear.
The Council has invested significant effort with members in engaging Transnet on the rail and ports catastrophe. It's not a crisis, it's a catastrophe. And as my office bearer, Temba Mkwanauzi, says, you know, when your heartbeat of your economy is weak because Eskom's not able to generate the amount of electricity, and when the logistics system, which is your vascular system, is blocked, it basically means that the body of the economy is in the intensive care unit. And we can certainly play a role in unblocking the vascular system through putting in private sector stents and using private sector defibrillator to get Eskom's heartbeat to restart.
Invited as a special guest to the sector AGM, Minister Gwede Mantashe expressed a sense of relief that relations between himself and the sector were cordial.
When I came here, I found the industry not in talking terms with the government. That's the reality when I came here. They were not talking to us. Every time they wanted to talk, they would say, talk to my lawyers, and others say, talk to my lawyers, and meet in court all the time. At least we're talking now.
And while there's a strong need for the mining sector, Labour, the government and other stakeholders to work together, these counterparties are not always on the same page. Minister Mantashe noted the 2022 Fraser Institute survey, which ranks South African mining in the lowest quartile of countries, taking a swipe at the sector by saying that this was in large part due to South African captains of industry bad-mouthing the country.
When I go to Canada, Australia, I discovered that it is the captains of the industry who actually promote the image of the sector. I don't have a sense of that here in South Africa. I think we're half-hearted about it. It's your sector. It's not my sector. It's my first time as a minister. I may be reshuffled anytime. You will remain in the sector. You have a responsibility to make the sector have a reputation that is appealing to many people.
But in another breath, the minister did admit to the major infrastructural failures that make it difficult not just for miners to operate in, but other sectors as well.
We cannot avoid acknowledging that the severity of the load shedding, a dysfunctionality of the logistics network, rail and ports, have significantly contributed to the downgrading and impacted directly on the performance of the sector.
The minister said great efforts were being made to deal with the power crisis in particular, adding that his department was now seized with reviewing the integrated resource plan. Minister Mantashe has urged the mining industry to participate in that process so that it can't claim to be a bystander when critical decisions on energy are taken down the line. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.